Hey guys, Shane with Dazzy Integrations again, and on today's edition of Give It To Me Straight, we're going to talk a little bit about hardware and software maintenance agreements. These are those items that you get billed for from your hardware vendor or your software vendor. Normally it's an annual application and fee that has to be paid. So a lot of times we get questions from our customers as well as prospects in regards to can we maybe eliminate those agreements, those yearly recurring costs, since we've already got the hardware in place, we've already got the software in place, and we really don't know what we're using it for. Can we just cut that expense out of our budget? And unfortunately, a lot of companies look to those items basically as a way to just cut some expense without fully evaluating what that does in terms of impact to their business in the event that they need to utilize those services. So what do we mean by hardware and software maintenance agreements? We're a pretty big Cisco shop here in terms of what we recommend and what we provide. So Cisco has a product called SmartNet Maintenance. And what that does, it gives you access to technical support, advanced hardware replacement, and bug fixes when it comes to your Cisco hardware. If you have software in place, there's going to be a maintenance piece to that as well. It's an annual agreement that allows you to get access to software technical support and possibly bug fixes and new releases and patches from your software vendor. So those are typically, again, annual type agreements, and they're going to most of the time be based upon a percentage of your initial cost. And really they're there to help protect you in the event of some type of failure. So a lot of people, when they start looking at this, the hardware maintenance of it, they say, well, isn't that basically just a warranty? And in some cases that is the case, but in a lot of cases, specifically like with Cisco SmartNet, it goes beyond what a typical warranty is. It gives you anywhere from next business day replacement all the way up to, in some cases, 2-hour replacement of critical components of that hardware. So that's incredibly important. If you've got a critical business operation that depends on the network infrastructure, you could have a new replacement part on site so that you only lose at most a couple of hours of productivity. Beyond that, on the Cisco SmartNet side, it provides access to Cisco Technical Assistance Center, or TAC, allows you to call in directly and get support from a Cisco engineer when it comes to network outages or issues. In addition to that, it gives you bug fixes and patches. So if there's a vulnerability that's found out in regards to the hardware that you're using, you get access to those patches and fixes from the vendor so that you can basically fix that security hole. On the software side, it's similar. So most of the agreements on the software side are going to allow you access to call in and get technical support. That's incredibly important if you're having an issue with your software. So the question of can we eliminate that? What you really want to do is take a long, hard look at what exactly is being provided in that agreement before you just make that decision that you want to cut that expense. Basically, what we recommend to our clients is when you look at that, imagine whatever device or software application that you're talking about or in question here, imagine that it goes down and it's down for a day. What does that impact? If it's a wireless access point, maybe it doesn't impact your operations. If it's a core network switch, however, and it takes down all of your users, that's going to impact operations. And what you really need to look at is, does that impact you financially? Does it impact you operationally? If the answer is to yes to those items, I always recommend you keep those maintenance agreements in place just so that you can ensure continuity of operations for your business. If it's one of those ancillary type services, if it's a software package that you really only use once a month, and if you have an issue with it, it's not going to impact revenue, maybe you can cut those. But don't just lump all of that in together thinking it's a warranty type issue and that you really don't need it and can cut that expense without looking further into it. If you have questions on that or want to talk further about it, certainly let us know. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll catch you the next time on Give It To Me Straight.